Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome to something a little bit different today. Not so much a hands-on top-down review, more a roundup. Now you know that I love my Chinese specials, and I know that most of you also love the occasional Chinese special as well, judging by the popularity of some of the videos that I make. Now I've pretty much always got one eye on AliExpress, looking for new pieces for my collection, new pieces to review to show all of you, and to see when the best deals on them are coming round. Now it tends to be that AliExpress has a sale roughly every quarter. The last one indeed was about the end of March, so we're due for one. They're calling this their mid-year sale. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you what I think are 10 of the best watch deals on AliExpress at the moment. There'll be a few old favourites and a few new ones. I'm not immune to this myself. I just bought 2 of the 10 watches that I'm going to show you. Now I'm going to leave links to all of these in the description of the video. To be clear, I'm an AliExpress affiliate. If you click on the link and buy something from Ali, I am paid a small commission. You don't pay any extra for the product though, just so that we're clear. Alright, I'm going to start with 3 old channel favourites. Now, I review a ton of stuff at Just One More Watch. I get watches in, watches out, I buy, I sell, I flip, and I trade a whole bunch of watches every year. So if something sticks, if I pick up one of these Chinese specials and it stays in the house, it stays in my collection, then there's got to be something a little bit special about it, I think. And I'm going to start with 3 watches that have stayed in my collection. Let's flip the camera and get on with it then. Alright, I'm going to start with a watch that really is an old channel favourite. From the Cadisen official store, it is the Cadisen C1032. Now they're doing this one on sale for $49.19 and including a free leather strap. I have been banging on about how good this watch is since I reviewed it towards the middle of last year for the first time. It is just gorgeous. Perfect proportions, 40mm in diameter, lovely Dauphine hands, applied indices, day-date complication from the Seiko NH36, hacking and hand-winding automatic movement. It's got sapphire crystal, it's got a full stainless steel bracelet with solid end links and a butterfly clasp. Beautiful sunburst dial available in 2 colours. I actually was so impressed with the silver one that I then bought a black one. Now, one word of warning, it is super shiny. It is all high polished. The finishing on the case is fine, but it's just all high polished. The bracelet is all high polished as well. So if you prefer your watches brushed, perhaps this one is best avoided, but if they're going to give you a free leather strap for $50, then really this is a bit of a no-brainer. I wear both of mine on leather straps now. It is such a handsome watch, looks a ton more expensive than $50. If you haven't already picked one up, perhaps this might be a good opportunity to do just that. So next up at number 2, it's quite a different proposition. Again from the Pagani Design official store, so you're buying it straight from the manufacturer effectively. It's the Pagani Design Chronograph that I reviewed in March. Now this one, unbelievably, for $42.32, features a Seiko VK67 Mecha Quartz movement. Now micro brands are charging you $300, $400, even $500 for a watch featuring exactly the same movement. Now this one is slightly larger, it's about 42mm in diameter, features a mineral crystal rather than a sapphire crystal, but there is a mad amount of purple AR coating on there, looks pretty good. And this one, I've had it since March, mine has been running like a champ. It's great to have a watch that's always set to the right time, especially in a box full of automatics that tend to drop out after a day or so. $42.32, crazy price. Pay a little bit more, $47 if you want it on one of these stainless steel butterfly clasped straight cut end linked bracelets. Alright, so we've had a kind of dressy style watch, we've had a chronograph. Next up at number 3, it's a Submariner homage automatic dive watch by Loreo. Now I picked this one up towards the end of last year on one of these flash sales, $63.20. I think I paid a couple of dollars more than that. I must say I am very, very impressed with the Loreo. Not only does it have a piece of proper sapphire crystal on the dial, but it's very solid feeling. It feels very nicely put together. Now it's a Seagull automatic movement. I was maybe a little bit dubious of the Seagull at the time that I reviewed it, but I have grown to love it. Mine runs very, very consistently. It winds well, it's quiet, it's smooth, the crown operates beautifully. It really does feel like a more expensive watch than that fairly meagre price suggests. Now, you can pick this one up in a bunch of different colourways. I went for the Hulk. If you've got a penchant for pink, then you can pick one up there. Kind of two-tone bezels, etc, etc. I'd be going for the bracelet. It's only got a press clasp, but really that's its only weakness. It is a nice bracelet and it's a proper clasp, including security pushers. I'm very happy with mine. I wouldn't be bothering with it on a NATO or a leather. You can always buy it on the bracelet and swap it out in your own time. I know the Invicta Pro Diver is the kind of sensible choice if you're looking for a cheap subby homage. My money's on the Loreo though. I've got a few of these, different manufacturers. I'm going to do a big head-to-head. Without spoiling that video, I've got a strong suspicion that the Loreo is going to take the crown. Very nice watch and a great price at 63 bucks. Alright then, at number 4, it's one of the 2 watches that I bought over the course of making this video. That does tend to happen with me. I'm weak-willed, what can I say? It's this one. I'm so impressed with my Loreo Hulk, I thought that during the flash sale, $63.78, perfect time to pick up one of these Yachttonas? Daymasters. It kind of looks somewhere between a Daytona and a Yachtmaster, doesn't it? It's got the bezel, the kind of ghost style bezel of a Yachtmaster, but clearly those dials look like a Daytona. And it's a triple calendar. We've got the date down at 4:30, we have got a 24-hour indicator at 6, we've got the day of the week at 9 and a month indicator at the 3 o'clock, and it claims 200 meters of water resistance as well. Same Seagull movement, or a variation of the Seagull movement that I'm enjoying in the Hulk, so that expects good things. 200 meters of water resistance. The only thing it doesn't say in the description as to whether this is a piece of sapphire crystal or not. So there's a panda coloured version, there's a black if you're feeling sensible, dark blue, but I went for this very Daytona-esque sky blue. Add a pop of colour for not a lot of cash. Looking forward to this one arriving in a couple of weeks' time. And next, another watch from the Caddis official store, and another watch that if you're a long-time viewer here, you have probably seen before, the Caterson Diamond. Another watch that I've been touting at regular intervals over the last 18 months or so. Normal price $143. I remember when I first reviewed it, they were up at $185, and I still thought it was a good deal. When they're on flash sale special, $105 US. There's not a lot that can touch it at that price. Really, the big draw of this one is in the back. That's a Miyota 9015. If you're unfamiliar with this, it's a proper Japanese-made 4Hz high-beat auto. It's gorgeous to look at from the back. They're ultra reliable. And really, the movement costs about $80 on its own. So you're getting a watch for not a lot more on top. 3 different colours. I've gone for this one before. It's a kind of parchment white dial with that noticeable blue second hand. There's a rose gold, there's a gold. All 3 of them feature a little diamond, this little crumb of diamond up there at the index of 12. That can be a turn off for some, I admit. In reality, you barely notice the things there. And to cap it all off, domed sapphire crystal. It really is such an elegant looking watch on wrist. 40mm in diameter. It's going to suit most people. If you've got a bit more to spend than the Cadisen C1032, this one is highly recommended when it's on a deal. Next cab off the rank is the second watch that I purchased whilst making this video. One that has been suggested to me on numerous occasions. I get so many messages. When are you going to review a San Martin Jody? Well, your answer is as soon as this one arrives, and I give it a good run for its money. As it says there, and as I'm sure you've already guessed, it's a 62 MAS homage. Although really, maybe it's a bit more SLA 17, which in itself is the Seiko homage to the 62 MAS. It's a 40mm in diameter, this one, so it's a bit bigger than the original Seikos from the 1960s. So this one is available in 2 different specs. You can get it with the logo or without the logo. I've gone for the logo one. Not really that comfortable with sterile watches. I'd rather a brand on the dial rather than no brand on the dial. Looks pretty good from here though, doesn't it? Seiko NH35, automatic hacking and hand winding movement, domed sapphire crystal. That looks like a very impressive looking case back. Waffle strap really does replicate the look. A friend of mine owns an SLA 17. So that's going to be an interesting week. I'm going to review the original Seiko, I'm going to review this homage, and I'm going to put the 2 of them head to head. Not much of a deal, is it? $5 off, big whoop, but it's a watch that was overdue, so I bought it. So I purchased and reviewed this exact Parnis Automatic GMT about 2 months ago. The title of the video said $80 Automatic GMT. Here on the flash sale, you should be able to pick it up for less than that. They should be comfortably hovering around the low 70s. You can get this one with a sterile dial if you prefer, but as I just said, I'd rather go for a brand logo than no brand logo at all. And I don't think I've looked at anything on the channel that looks more expensive than it is as this Parnis. It just looks fantastic. I think a lot of that is to do with the ceramic bezel insert. It just made the watch pop really nicely and catch the light. But the finishing on the case was pretty good. The bracelet is alright, it's got solid end links and an interesting attempt at a proper scissor clasp as well. Now the only question mark about the Parnis is about the overall durability and quality of the watch. No water resistance rating printed anywhere, so you wouldn't be getting this one wet on my recommendation anyway, and I cannot tell you whether it's going to last you a month, a year or a decade, given how far the money has spread. An Automatic GMT on a full stainless steel bracelet for $72. They're spreading the butter thin on the toast today. So as long as you're comfortable with that, you get a great looking watch for $73. So we've had dress watches, dive watches, chronographs. How's about a Flieger? Now, the one exception to my no sterile dial rule is the Flieger, because this is what they used to look like back in the 1940s during World War II. And this is a classic Type A Flieger by Corgeut for $68.40, and it's properly sized, 42mm in diameter. With a Flieger, with a pilot's watch, you always want it to be that little bit bigger. Sapphire crystal covering that super legible dial, and that's a Miyota 8210 in the back. So this is, if you will, the elaborate grade version of their 8215, skeletonized rotor and a decent amount of decoration there as well. It's a nice little movement to look at. Now they hand wind but they don't hack, but I have always been pleased with the reliability and the consistency of these movements. There aren't all that many options for bargain Fliegers, so this one looks pretty good, if only I hadn't spent all my money already. Did someone say Omega Speedmaster Dark Side of the Moon? Now, Reef Tiger, I think along with San Martin, I get heaps of suggestions that I should check out this brand. And again, it's one that has been on my radar for the last couple of years. I've done my dash this particular AliExpress sale with the two previously shown. Maybe the next time around though, I will be picking up one of these, especially if they do that again. That's a solid saving, $25 off each one. Full size sports chronograph, 44mm in diameter. It's got sapphire crystal on the dial as well, and that looks like a lovely nylon strap with deployant. Now it is a quartz movement. You're not getting an auto at that price, but frankly I wouldn't really want an auto at that price. I'd be comfortable with a quartz. $115, $116, I could see myself picking up one of these before year end. Is this the original Chinese special, the Seagull 1963, so called because it was the watch that was commissioned for the Red Army Air Division in 1963, and it is just a stunning little watch. Now $250 US down to $199. Check the Long Island watch price, it's $299 US, so this is a bit of a deal on the mid-year sale. I used to have one of these. It was an adorable little watch, 38mm in diameter, 18mm lug width, but 14mm thick because of a lovely piece of domed acrylic crystal. That's one of these crystals that you're going to have to buy a $5 tub of Polywatch to rub all the scratches out of it, but it was gorgeous. The NATO strap that it came with wasn't anything to write home about, and mine, like this one, came with a solid case back, so you can't see the Seagull ST1901 column wheel chronograph. You don't get too many manual winding column wheel chronographs for $200 US now, do you? Certainly not as many as pretty as this one, and genuinely steeped in history. A good deal, and where better to buy it than from China directly, I suppose. And finally at number 10, I'm going to bowl you a little bit of a googly. Did you know that you can buy Seikos on AliExpress? Well, you can. And this at $515.90 is a pretty good price on the Nemo Turtle. This was an Asian market only one. I was lucky enough to have a friend of mine, Jason, buy one from the Philippines a number of months ago, and he let me unbox it and review it at the time. A really interesting version, limited edition from the Prospex range, and came in that nice presentation box with the extra Seiko rubber strap as well. This one features the ultra reliable 4R36A movement, as do all of the other regular turtles. But you don't see many in orange and blue, do you? You are paying a premium, but as with all limited edition Seikos, it's liable to hold its value very well. And as I discussed, that's a pretty good price. They were up at about $650 when I was reviewing them. So AliExpress isn't just about homages and my bargain basement Chinese specials. There's some interesting little pieces out there if you're prepared to dig deep enough. So there you have it, another top 10 Chinese special bargains on AliExpress from their mid-year sale. If you're watching this video in August, unfortunately the deals have probably expired, but don't worry, there'll be another sale coming up in September. So how many of them did you buy? How many of them do you already own? I know I probably have encouraged one or two of you to buy one or two watches. As discussed, I'm not immune to it myself. Just one more watch syndrome. Perhaps it'll be in the medical dictionary next year. But hey, at least I recommend the cheapos. You're not going to go bankrupt all that quickly. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.